see us later.
Put that on my mom.
What is up, YouTube? It's your host with the most retro bro here, aka Big Brother, aka the grandfather of gaming, and today we have a Pokemon X and Y UU tier battle. So Josh was actually the person who chose the tier, because what I'm actually doing for this week is I let a couple of people on Twitter challenge me, and then when they challenged me, I allowed them to pick the tier and the format. So this battle, he chose X and Y UU, and you'll see another battle today that was chose by a subscriber, and you'll see that battle was actually chose to be done on Showdown, and that battle is PU. So you get a little bit of diversity, and I figure since a lot of times I challenge you guys to tier battles, this time I'd let you challenge me, and you get to pick the tier too. That way it's fair, and it's not like I'm always dictating the rules to matches. So it's fun and fair for everyone. Anyhow, looking at his team, Zoroark is probably more gimmicky than a threat. Noivern, I just disrespect because I hate the Pokemon and it's extremely frail, so I'm not scared of it by any means. Scrafty can be tricky. Haxorus is power. Torterra is a really decent typing, so it can be dangerous, especially if it happens to randomly carry synthesis. And for Alligator, likes to Life Orb Dragon Dance for sweeps, so that's going to be a problem. Anyhow, let's get this match on the way. So I'm going to go ahead out the gate with Weezing. Reason being is because I predicted he would predict that I would open with Shuckle. So in case for Alligator came out, I had initiative over for Alligator with my Thunderbolt. Oh, but he uses extra sensory. I didn't even know Scrafty gets extra sensory. Oh well, we'll go ahead and Sludge Bomb. And that did way too much damage. And reason being is because it's Zoroark and not a Scrafty. Had it actually been a Scrafty, a Sludge Bomb, not saying it wouldn't hurt, because it definitely would have, but it would never have hurt that much. The fact that it like nearly died, well, it pretty much did die, the Focus Sash just saved it, shows that it was a Zoroark, because a Sludge Bomb would not have hurt a Scrafty that hard, even if it wasn't invested in specialty defense. Anywho, let's go ahead and take it down with Shuckle. Reason being is because I didn't want to take additional damage with Weezing. I still feel like I'll need him some point a little bit later in the game, and Shuckle can eat up everything this thing has to offer. So we're going to go ahead and Toxic to get it out of the way, because if I remember correctly, Zoroark has a lot of moves that have the possibility of critting you possibly, and I don't want to give him that opportunity. Anyhow, he used Focus Miss and missed. No surprise there, because it's a terrible accuracy move. So down he goes, and we'll see what he goes into from here. Now, if he was smart, which I'm pretty sure he is, he's going to go into for Alligator. This will force me to switch, and this will give him a free Dragon Dance. However, that may not be the case, but I'm more than positive that's what's going to go down here. So let's see if he goes ahead and makes the smart play and goes into for Alligator. I hope he makes the dumb play, actually, because I'd like to set up a little bit with Shuckle, but I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, but he decides to go out on the Scrafty. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, the for Alligator coming out now would have been a problem for that free Dragon Dance he could have got on me right now, but he decided to go in the Scrafty, and I know this thing likes to sweep, but I'm really not afraid of it. So I'm predicting here he's probably going to Dragon Dance to set up for the sweep. So I'm going to take a risk here. Now, be advised, ladies and gents, this play I'm making is very risky, so I wouldn't suggest it to anybody. But I switched into Alakazam, predicting that he may go ahead and go for Dragon Dance, which is common. But he just went ahead and Drain Punched, which is quite a surprise, because now that means my Alakazam is dead. There's nothing I can do about it. But you know what? I can still catch him with a nice, strong, Dazzling Gleam. I figured he would probably be sashed, and I really didn't hit him hard enough to even take him down there, so I just wasted my Alakazam off of over-predicting, which is a good lesson for everyone. Never over-predict, though we all tend to do it from time to time, because my Alakazam could have did a lot of work this game, and now it's gone. Anywho, Infernape is about to give him that work. I am Scarf, so I'm going first, and even if he does switch, what really wants this close combat I'm about to throw to the face? Well, Torterra could, actually, so I guess he could go into Torterra, but anything else he goes into isn't going to want that close combat. So So he has to realize that Torterra would be the smart choice here. At the same time, I still have like Flare Blitz and stuff, but I mean, you know, most Infernape's are Scarf. So if I would have did close combat, then I couldn't Flare Blitz him. And I wouldn't waste a Flare Blitz on what little bit of life he had just to take recoil damage. But he went into for Alligator, and that's the smart move now, because now he's going to get that initiative of getting one Dragon Dance up, like I've been talking about for the longest. Like, he actually could have did that to Shuckle and didn't, but decided to go with his Scrafty. But anywho, we're going to have to switch out. Now, who to switch out into is more of an issue now, because Weezing took way too much damage to work out too well. However, Blastoise may work. I really don't want to do it because I feel like I'm splitting hairs a lot. Because a lot of times these things carry Crunch, and Crunch is going to hurt a lot. I'm not physically defensive. I'm actually an offensive Blastoise. So Crunch is going to hurt a lot. Anyhow, we can still hit him pretty decently with Mecha Launcher, with Mecha Launcher Dark Pulse, excuse me. But at the same time, again, a Dragon Dance Crunch is going to hurt. So we're really splitting hairs because I don't really have way too much of an advantage here, but it does keep his water attacks at bay, so that helps. Alright, so let's go ahead and Dark Pulse again, since he was ballsy enough to go ahead and do 2 Dragon Dances. Oh, but he decides to Aqua Tail. I don't understand why that was a choice over Crunch exactly, but I'll take it. Because I'm more than positive being +2, Crunch would have been a bigger deal than the Aqua Tail, considering I resisted it. At this point now, though, Blastoise won't be able to be used for Haxorus and Noivern because his health is too low. So he goes ahead and goes out into the Torterra. Now, I know for a fact these things carry really decent ground moves. So I'm going to switch into Weezing because this now forces him to have to use, say, like Rock Slide or Stone Edge. He won't be able to use his ground moves or his grass moves. So that will be the best choice for now. Weezing can't hit it very hard, but it's still a better switch in this situation. We should be able to get some damage on it before we die. And see, he went ahead and went for the Wood Hammer, no problem there. So let's go ahead and Sludge Bomb. It's going to be neutral damage because ground types resist poison moves, but I mean, other than that, we can still get some decent damage off before we die, so I don't have a problem with that. Oh, but he decides to switch. Okay. Big mistake there, bro. Because your Haxorus is not going to eat this too well. Not saying that it'll kill him, but he's not going to like taking this hit. Hopefully we get that poison with it too. But we did not. But we still hit him for half health, which isn't a problem. So Weezing can go ahead and rest in peace now. I mean, he's done quite a lot this game for the little bit of screen time he had. But of course, this is why I constantly use Weezing. Because no matter what tier he's in, he does the finest of work. So, what do I want to go into for Haxorus? I don't have Weezing anymore. I don't have Alakazam anymore. So what would be the best choice here is the question. Well, I guess Infernape I could go into. I mean, it could kill the Haxorus, but at the same time, I just don't want to really use him because I know he's just going to be forced out when the Torterra comes out. But he still takes out this Haxorus, so no big deal there. I'll just have to switch him when I switch him, which is going to be right now, because no matter what he puts out, Infernape is not trying to fight it just yet. Yeah, like Noivern, for example. It's frail, but I don't want to close combat this early. So let's go ahead and switch. Let's go into Shuckle. Shuckle will be a good choice right here because we can eat up Draco Meteor no problem. Oh, but he decides to Air Slash. That's different. Not very effective either, but very different. I guess he had it set up assuming I was going to stay in with the Infernape, which would have been a bad move on my part. Anyhow, let's go ahead and set up our Sticky Web so we can start trying to set up shop. But he gets the Flint, so it's going to delay me just a little bit. But when we can actually move again, we'll go ahead and put out the Sticky Web. Now, What the Sticky Web will do, for those of you that don't know, I still have as an anchor my Exploud. So once that Sticky Web is set up, even though it won't work on Noivern, it will work on Torterra, guaranteeing that Torterra will die to Exploud. And that's really my focus here, because I know I'm going to beat the Noivern. Like I said earlier, I have no respect for this Pokemon. It's frail. People say it hits hard, and it doesn't really hit as hard as people say. I feel like it's one of those Pokemon that's just extremely overrated, and I kind of think it's a use of space in life. So I really just hate Noivern, and there's no reason for me to be afraid of it. For someone that's supposed to be hyper offense, I mean, Shuckle is just playing around with him. I mean, he's the strongest defensive Pokemon in the game, so he plays around with anyone anyway. But I mean, my point is here is that this is a waste of time for the Noivern. He can't do anything to me. And honestly, he would have killed Shuckle faster had he just took the time and switched into Torterra, which is what I would have did if I played a Noivern. Okay, so this time we got the Toxic on him because the Lumberry is obviously gone. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and protect one turn just to get a little bit of health. And then we'll try to set up so we can put down the Stealth Rock. That way, if he decides to switch now that he's poisoned, we can at least get some decent damage on him, because the rocks are out and he's a flying type as well. So we'll go ahead and initiate that strategy, because it looks like he really just wants to keep Air Slashing and flinching, which is really annoying. I mean, I understand playing different sets, but just kind of Air Slash for the flinch really is an effective strategy, and the probability of it working is it's not going to happen too much all the time, so it's not the best strategy. I mean, it only works with Togekiss because it has not only Serene Grace, but it has the ability to paralyze you, so it's a para flinch combo. But when you do, say, Air Slash alone like you're doing right now, and then you don't have anything else to back it up, the chances of it constantly working is that it's not. So then it's just kind of wasting time for a certain extent, and then you kind of falling into your impending doom. Well, I couldn't even say kinda. It is you falling into your impending doom, because when you do that against a Shuckle and you're poisoned, all you're doing is setting yourself up to die. Okay, so he decided to roost. Now, he's probably going to make the smart move here and switch now he roosted. I know a lot of people that do that. They get poisoned, they'll roost to get the health up, and then switch out immediately so they take down the clock on the Toxic. So, I could understand that being a decent play. So, is he going to attack me now, or is he going to switch? No, he's still roosting. Okay, so obviously my opponent doesn't know what they're doing. They're just going to roost stall because they're afraid to die now. And I'm here to tell you, ladies and gents, don't ever do that. Like, please don't do that. Okay, like, how can I explain this? Okay, I got it. Roost is a valuable move. Roost can be used continuously in certain situations to give you an advantageous edge to possibly make a comeback, but you have to use it in the right situation. What he's doing now is just wasting time, because what he's doing here is he's constantly roosting while the clock on poison extends, making the poison hit him harder instead of switching out. So now he's just wasting time roosting, and eventually the poison's gonna kill him. At the same time, he's taking forever to kill Shuckle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to nip this in the bud, and I'm going to go ahead and pick my Blastoise. Now, is my Blastoise probably going to die here? Yeah, more than likely. But I did that because the Roost stall was getting annoying. It forces him to break it now, because he knows I have the Ice Beam. So if he Roosts, he's a dead man because it's times 4 effective. There you go. So you got yourself one Pokemon because I didn't want you to bore my viewers with stall. I hope you're proud of yourself, you bad person. And I'm saying this all in love and anger, because Roost stalling just annoys the mess out of me. Like, I can understand if you use it again in an advantageous situation, but there was nothing advantageous about that. He didn't switch to get the Toxic off. He let the clock continue to go, and it killed him. So literally all he did was waste time doing it. Anyhow, Sticky Web is out, Torterra is going last, and we're going to Boom Burst, so this should be game by a one-shot kill. Sure enough, it is. Au revoir to the Torterra. And that is good game. Great game, Josh. There's a few things I would work on with your strategy. Like, perfect example, if you're going to use Roost and you're going to stall with it, stall properly until to where it's effective. But in that particular situation, or if you're ever in a situation like that again, when you have Toxic on you, it's going to beat you because it gets stronger as turns go by. So just switch or go ahead and attack and let it die. But don't keep stalling like that when you're in those situations, because all that happens is you waste time and you still lose the Pokemon no matter what. Anyhow, if you guys like this battle, like, comment, subscribe. I will keep doing 2 battles a week for Pokemon, so you guys can get plenty of chances to try to battle me, as well as putting up other videos of other awesome games I love to play. And as usual, I've been Retro Bro, and I am signing out. Night, everybody.
How'd it get so wonderful, so wonderful?